All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting of the Somerset Conservation Commission to order at 6:04 p.m. in the Somerset Town Hall meeting room. The meeting will be recorded by SATV as well as shown live. Roll call of members from my left.
Renee Driscoll,
Joe Duval. Matt Talbot.
Karen Sneedham.
Bob Kamara. Thank you. Do you have any minutes, Tim?
No.
No? Okay. So the next item is a continuation of a notice of intent filed by Lyndon Campos of 454 Main Street, Somerset, Mass. to construct the proposed dock, float, gangway piles, and a boat lift in the Taunton River.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, we've already began this, and we were waiting for the file number, then we had an error on my end at our last meeting. So he has the Chapter 91 license, he's got the plans that we've already looked at, he's got a file number, and he's got his letter from Division of Marine Fisheries, and that's pretty much just the boilerplate letter that we get from them, that we should reflect that in our conditions,
Okay.
the letter itself.
All right, so nothing unusual in that.
There's nothing unusual, no.
Okay. All right, does anybody have any questions regarding that last
No,
one?
we have already seen it, if anybody wants to see the plans, I can. These are the plans and the Chapter 91 license. Very, very cut and dry.
Thank you.
There's already a section of seawall in his backyard that the dock is just gonna mount right on.
All right, during that, I will entertain a motion to close the hearing and issue the order of conditions, reflecting any comments from the Division of Marine Fisheries.
So moved.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you.
You guys just do that.
Yes. All right, the next item on the agenda is a discussion with the Ceramics Enrichment Blue Raiders Block, represented by Marilee Bowers and the Somerset Berkeley Regional High School students, to place a wind phone on the Elm Street Acres property located at map E-4, lot 37.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so Lyndon, you good? I'll be in touch.
Do I need any copies? We're good? I got
I'll have everything for you. Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Henry,
Thank you.
thank you, guys.
Ms. Bowers?
Oh, okay. First, thank you very much for giving us some time this evening. The students are well prepared to present, and I think we should probably just start by introducing ourselves. So we'll start here to my
Hi,
left.
I'm Caden Dos Santos. I'm a senior at SB.
My name is Max Finlaw. I'm a senior at Somerset Berkeley as well.
My name is Emma Javier and I'm also a senior. I'm Ella Bont and I'm a junior.
I'm Karis Batella, I'm also a senior.
Welcome.
Okay. So Emma, would you like to do?
I can start if you want. So,
Oh, I'm sorry. Just before we start,
Oh.
would you like to do hand out the
Yes. We have a little information booklet for everyone.
So just a quick heads up on that. Elm Street Acres is under our charge. One of the properties that we manage, if you want to call it that. So we went up, actually, Castle couldn't make it tonight, but him and I met Marilee last week and we walked in. So the parking lot that's on Elm Street, you walk in, it's roughly about 800 feet in. There's no resource areas, it's just woods. They found a clearing, and I don't want to steal any thunder here. They found a clearing. I did speak to our rep at DEP, and they're good to go. They're not doing anything that would require any kind of filing.
Okay. So,
so I think back I want to say a year ago, a few of us in this group, along with others who graduated, started researching about the wind phone. which originated in Japan. There was a tsunami, and I don't remember the lady's name, but someone put a wind phone over a cliff, looking over where the tsunami occurred, and it was a phone booth, and you could dial someone's phone number, and then you pick up the phone and call it, and you could essentially talk to the person that you lost and kind of just let everything out. It doesn't even have to be someone that you lost. It could be stuff building up, and you just want to call someone, but you don't actually want to talk to them. Then you can just kind of let all your feelings out. And so we found out there was one in Portsmouth, and we took a field trip there. I want to say it's April. And I feel a lot of us didn't think it was gonna be this big thing, and then we went there and there was log books. I want to say there was 4 or 5 log books, and you actually got people wrote their stories of why they were there and what happened. And we learned a lot about people, and we're wow, people actually use this, and I feel it can help our community. So I don't know if anyone else wants to add.
I think it's a really good idea because a lot of people don't really know how to express their feelings and kind of just let everything out. And having the wind phone, you can just write about yourself and your personal beliefs and just let everything out without telling anyone, without telling how you feel. Kind of just your own little bubble in a way. You step into the wind phone and you pick up the phone, you just talk, you let everything out, and it's just a way to release stress in a way, which is good. That's it.
I also think that not everyone has someone to talk to about the things that they struggle with, and that can have a real toll on your mental health if you don't have anyone to talk to about things, and that can really help people. I think even if they have no one to talk to, they essentially have someone to talk to, even though they're not really sure.
So did you want to describe the model?
Yeah, I can do that. So the rod, those metal rods are gonna be, is it 2 feet into the ground,
I
right?
think it's, what is it, 3?
2 feet.
2
2
feet?
feet, right?
Alright.
Okay. And it's just gonna be secured with cement at the bottom. And then the wind phone, the booth that we went to in
You can step up to the phone if you want to. Yeah, it might be easier.
so this would be the opening, the entrance to the phone. And then obviously this is just a mock-up, so it's not gonna be this size. It'd be human sized. But the one we went to was a glass phone booth that you see in cities usually. And we wanted to make it blend in with nature because it kind of stood out, the one that we went to. So I think Miss Bowers came up with the idea of making it kind of natural looking and fitting in with the woods environment.
And so a phone or something like that would rest inside the...
Yes.
Yes, there's
You're
gonna be a
going to
desk
be using
inside.
materials that are already there,
Yes.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, this phone that we brought with us was donated by a community member in Somerset. Found out about the wind phone, I think back in April or May, and delivered that phone to us at school. It just showed up, so I was wow. So I had a red one at home, and I think last year the students all agreed that they liked the yellow one. I think Drew was really attached to the yellow, so that's the one we're gonna use. So we'll build a small desk that it'll sit on top of.
And then we also liked the idea of the logbook that was at the Portsmouth wind phone. So we decided because obviously rain can get in there, we're gonna have a waterproof box just to keep writing utensils and notebooks in.
Who's gonna build it?
The Lilac Thief, which is, can you want to talk about that? I was like, do you know more
No,
about
I'll
that?
talk about it. So the Lilac Thief is a woman-owned business out of Warren, Rhode Island, and it's run by 2 Somerset grad alumni, Sarah Augusto and Samantha Bowers, and they both have independent jobs. Sarah is a tenured professor at Curry College, and Samantha is my daughter, and I don't know what she does. I do know what she does, is she works with computers, and she does like IT things, and really like important, like she runs her company and like her department, and she's very well respected. By me too, I'm so not computer literate at all. I'm sorry.
Usually, hopefully she doesn't watch public news.
Oh, I know. I forgot I was being recorded. So they started a business about 3 years ago. They just love natural elements and botanicals, and so they do site-specific structures at weddings, like they'll do arbors and things like that. And they do florals and little Christmas show things. They do like bottles with particular plants and herbs inside. I think they call them spell bottles, just to, they're very spiritually based, and so they're just really excited about building that wind phone. And they're very, they're expert at what they do, so yeah, it will be beautifully built.
Once it's built and up and running, how is it going to be advertised? Like, how will the community know it's there?
I think like eventually, like people at our school already know about it. As like we've worked on it the past year, kids like started to learn about it, and I feel like not a lot of people realize like the actual like feeling of being there until like you're actually there. Like when I keep bringing up like the Portsmouth one, but when we went there, like it was actually like so like calming and like kind of like touching to see the stories of like people that had gone there and like what they've been through. And I think it would like benefit our community because there's a lot of people that like don't just want to go and talk to someone about like who they lost or like grieve to other people. I just think it's a nice place to like be calm and like talk, like just let like your feelings out.
I think also during our Blue Raider block time, we're going to be shifting more towards, now that we have the structure down, we're looking at what is going to also be in place, and one of the things is the ceramic tile tablets that will be attached to the top. It'll say Blue Raider wind block. And then also we're going to be making, that starts with an F, L, Y, E.
Flyers. Yeah.
Flyers,
Oh.
yeah.
I thought you were trying to remember what it was.
I was just trying to activate memory. Having a breakdown. No, I think you had something you wanted to add, Max, so?
Oh, yeah, no. Just about, like, the wind phone in general. I think Emily and Gaben kind of, like, touched upon, like, what I was going to say, but, again, it's just, like, a really good option for people who don't have anyone in their life that they feel comfortable, you know, talking with and communicating with. And, in a way, this really does provide them with a sense to, like, release those feelings and, kind of just let everything out. Even though there's not someone in their life that they feel as though they can, like, speak that to. It just, like, provides them with, a way of like relieving anything that you want to get out. But 100% didn't say because I probably touched upon it already.
What's the upkeep gonna look like though? Like it's gonna be all natural, and I know you have the rebar and the cement, but what about like wear and tear from the community, from like wind, weather?
Yeah, these are all things that we've been kind of discussing, and Lilac Thief is building those kind of safeguards in terms of stability into the building of it, but it will require occasional upkeep in terms of people going in and checking on it to make sure that, you know, if there's any type of weaving coming apart, that it can be redone. But I kind of equate it more to like a bird's nest that they look very fragile, but they're actually quite they're sturdy, they're structurally sound, and all that intricate weaving is what kind of is going to give it strength. And so, yeah, so I think that we would all be so invested in it, you know. I know that the students who worked on it last year, they've been following us, and I've been updating them on what's been coming up and about the meeting tonight, so they'll be back for Thanksgiving break, and they're excited about hopefully visiting it if it gets built, so.
Yeah, well, thank you for bringing that up, Matt, because that was one
Yeah.
of the things that I was thinking about.
Yeah, of
It's just
course.
the maintenance.
Of course.
Sustainability.
Because it's set back, you know, it's not visible from the road, you know,
Right.
just concerned about people doing stuff they shouldn't.
Yeah, you know
So,
what?
as long as you folks are monitoring it, I mean, we go in there on occasion, but if you've got somebody from your team that's going in there and keep an eye on it every so often.
Of course. And I thought about that too, in terms of the securing the phone. It's not gonna just sit and rest on the table. We're gonna figure out a way to just kind of screw it down and just make sure that it's not removed by anyone. I mean, there are people that may try, but
Well, if you
They
need
will
more
not
phones, I've got
succeed.
some in my basement.
So what they're here for tonight is, there's no permits or anything involved. It's just, I will, if everybody agrees, I will send a letter to the selectmen. They're gonna have to go in front of the selectmen to get permission to use town property,
Okay,
okay? So, and I'm happy to go that night.
yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, let me know if you need me to go out. I'm available, I'm happy to do that. I saw you back there. Did Parker? Did you, I don't know if you had any comments or questions, because you're
My thing
on
is
our
entirely-
agenda for the same space.
Yeah, my thing is entirely separate from theirs,
Okay.
but I could see it definitely benefiting everyone involved.
I was trying to make that connection, so thank you. So does anybody have any more questions? Thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you.
We appreciate the idea, it's fantastic. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the installation of the Blue Raider wind phone in Elm Street Acres.
So moved.
A motion, second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Make sure you take plenty of pictures of the process.
Yes.
I need to make sure he's done recording before I go up.
Merrily, I'll be in touch, okay?
When is he done recording? Mom,
Oh, yeah.
I will be in touch.
Mom, is he done recording?
Did she have something she wanted to
He's
say
not
before
done
you guys
recording.
leave?
I can't look up to you today.
You want me to help you?
Go drop the prototype.
This has been one of the happiest things we've ever heard.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Thanks. Do you want to? Well, unless you want to.
That's so cute. Okay, yeah, it's good. It's good. Okay, is he done
I stand
recording?
corrected, George.
Yeah.
So the next item on the agenda is a discussion with UMass Dartmouth Design for Community Engagement Program, represented by student Arthur Sarsby, to establish the trail markers on the Elm Street Acres property, located at map E4, lot 87.
Hi, you guys can pass these around if you want. They're it's like a prototype. So my name is Parker Sowersby. I am a senior at UMass Dartmouth, graduating in graphic design in the spring.
Could you maybe bring that and put it in front of me?
Yes.
So that way the camera can get it for the audience?
That's it? Yeah.
TV
Like
land?
that?
You can do it.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Does that help, Karen?
Yeah,
that's good.
All right. So this currently has been my hobby mapping of Elm Street Acres. I used to go there a lot as a kid, and one thing I've noticed is it's very easy to get lost and even end up out of Somerset. Attached is, that third one is a representation of just how far the trails go, and look how far off it is from Elm Street Acres. It's so easy to get lost.
Yeah.
So, I know that there are some spray painted marks in the trees, but I'm gonna be real, spray painting into trees, it's not gonna work in the long run, and like, it's not like super visible. So, I'm trying to propose that for the 3 trail loops there are in Elm Street Acres, which I'd say is this one, and there's like a third little one like right here, I don't know if you can see that. I've put in trail markers and nail them into the tree. They come out a little, so if you're a little off the trail, you'll still be able to catch it with your eye. They're bright, they're vibrantly colored, and it should be way less easy to get lost. I think even putting signage warning people of certain trails that go specifically out of the park, specifically there's one this way. If you go that way, there's no looping back around, and it even gives you a false loop back around. So that can be very frustrating.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, this is one loop, this is another loop, and all these other,
That's,
wiggle lines are outside of the,
yes.
so this would be the,
This green square represents what Elm Street Acres actually is.
okay, and this too. So is this, is that,
Yes,
this?
yes.
Okay,
No problem. And another thing I noticed, I might go on a couple tangents here, but another thing I noticed while I was doing this is the parking lot thing. I went there yesterday, I saw that all the brush was taken down, so whoever did that, I really appreciate
I
it.
had that done last week.
It was
Yep.
fire. I think one thing that could help with like regrowth is just putting like maybe mulch over where that path, you know how it's like
Yep.
6 inches?
Yep.
Just some mulch there. And here I have some images of the down trees in the paths. And there are at least 3. There's one major one right at the beginning. And one of them has almost entirely resulted in one of the trails regrowing. And taking down the trees is very important because trails are maintained by human foot traffic. Every time you're walking a trail, you're also doing trail maintenance. So when people see a down tree and they turn around to go, oh, I'll turn around, the trail just starts going on its own. So attached, this is this same trail before a down tree, and there's like actually 2 down trees. There's like a section that no one really walks, and that's what that section looks like. So super
a lot of
skinny.
regrowth,
Yeah, it's like pretty much just a game trail at that point. I don't know if you saw that. For a compare and contrast between when there's no trees in the way versus when there's trees in the way. And the final, this is my biggest proposal. I'm gonna come back next month with some more because this one is the one that might need money. I want to put a trailhead at Elm Street Acres. Why I got so excited when the high school students were here is I was like, a trailhead could be super beneficial because you can mark landmarks and waypoints and like things that are cool in the park. You know, like that big rock cliff there that's like 180 feet, like that's cool. If we got one of these tiny ones, you could even kind of switch it out and stuff and like let people know where things are. And they'd also be great for warning people about Lyme disease and, you know, all the other things that can happen. And flooding, because flooding, those trails I know can flood. I know that whole thing is a marsh. So just something kind of along these lines. And I plan on coming back next month, and either way, for my class, I have to design one of these. So you'll have one designed, it's just a question of if you want to install it or not. And here's all the reasons why a trailhead's important. There's also a lot of private homes back there, a lot of trails leading to private homes. You end up in someone's backyard. I think making sure that that doesn't happen is really important. And it alerts people of the terrain. So my goal for the project is to create a trailhead, with informational posting, mark 2 to 3 loops with trail markers, and then create a brochure. That's more for my class, but I'll definitely still pass those out. And then have those 3 down trees removed. And then at some point the shrubbery removed from the parking lot, but that was already done before I got here. So that's everything. So thank you so much. That's excellent.
So what are you gonna need to get the trees removed?
What?
What are you gonna need to get the trees removed? You just said you were gonna do it.
I can't do that one.
Do you live there, or you?
I live on Main Street.
Oh, okay. Before we leave, I'm gonna grab your name and phone number.
Okay.
We can get, I did not see the down trees, but when I went up there the other day, that's not the way I was going. So we'll take a walk, me, you, and we can get somebody else to go, and you can show us where the trees are. We'll get, I'll see if Chris Simons wants to come along.
The biggest one is literally like, I think 900 feet in this way, and then a right.
All right.
And it's like, it's a huge
I think
one.
we can work something out to get them out of there.
All right.
We know the
Do you know,
tree board,
like, the distance you're gonna have your markers?
I think what I would do is probably start by going over the ones with the spray paint, and then I think adding a couple more, because
You'll probably find some old ones still nailed to the trees, because it's been done in the past by the Boy Scouts, it's been done, but I mean, it's wood, they rot, they fall off, And that's it, but it has been done. The paths up there were really kept clean, clear and wide open when, I'm gonna take it for what it is, dirt bikes and ATVs and stuff up there, they weren't hurting a thing. The neighbors just didn't like the noise later into the night or whatever, and it kind of got enforced, and now there might be one or two up there that still go, but certainly not the way it used to be. But the trails are very passable, except where the trees are down.
Yep, so does the Conservation Commission have money for signage,
We already have signs up there.
but the trailhead?
Like it's
So
just,
Well,
if we wanted
we
to
can
do-
discuss it, that's something going down the road, we can, it's never been brought to us before.
And then would you consider like maybe putting a QR code in your trailhead or your signage that like after you're done with this project, like if it were to be updated or any updates, it could be linked to something electronically?
I mean, what do you mean? Because that would depend. If we
You're
got
looking
one of
for
the trail,
continuity, right?
Right.
yeah, if we got one of those trailheads where it was just like a thing and you can like stick posters in it, like that's a possibility. But if you got one of the more permanent, like non-moving ones, like what part would change, you know?
No, I'm just saying like if anything were to be updated, you know, after your project is done, something that we could sustain the project with. So like, you know, a person coming in there, like maybe, you know, QR code and it will show them the map so they can have it on their phone, or, you know, your trails that you just showed on your presentation.
I mean, we could link that to our webpage. I mean, once they're mapped out,
Yeah, they're
if we've got that, we can post that to our website and
Right.
we could have that QR code go to that.
Well, like if she's,
Whatever
if she's
whatever
making out like a
the map
permanent
is.
design kind of thing, I'm just
Yeah.
asking like.
Well,
would she
if
consider
we're gonna
that?
do something like that, then I would suggest we use the same sign company that we had make up all the other signs. They just did your signs for.
That's right, yeah. for-
So that way, they'll be green and white, they'll match what's already there.
Perfect.
And
Hey, definitely, but like, that's a great idea, the QR code.
Yeah.
All the trails have them now.
And then, are you the one that's gonna be making the trail markers, or are you gonna have somebody else do that?
I definitely could make trail markers, but because I'm a graphic design major, my teacher wants me to specifically focus on the designing of the trailhead.
Okay. Because I was gonna ask if there was any other, materials that we could use to like maybe keep them longer, you know, like whether it be composite or.
Yeah.
They make that way helpful too.
something in
I think
vinyl.
there are like little metal ones you can buy. They look like little metal discs and they're like brightly colored, red or blue. Those could work too, but
Yeah,
this is
probably
probably
just
cheaper.
the most durable material and will hold the color the longest too, so.
Yeah, I mean, I like the simple design concept, square,
Yeah.
triangle, circle,
Yeah,
you know. it just
I
kinda gives people-
rely on those trail markers a lot when I go.
Well, I'll tell you, when we went up last week, the further in you go, I mean, the path that we took was perfectly clear. But those trees get tall and it's like all of a sudden you're like, you can feel it kind of closing in on you. And it is very easy to get lost in there. I mean, you could end up in Dayton, you could end up in Swansea and still not know it.
Yeah, and did you
So
know,
it's
once again,
backyard.
one of those trails, it was like a false loop. Like even in my head, I felt
That's
like I'm like,
probably from the
okay, I'm
dirt
going
bikes,
back.
you
I'm
know,
going the other
so-
way.
Like, even like the trail markers, it might even be better to put like, something that glows too, so like when you're coming back and if it's already starting to get dark or something like that, just like.
They sell reflective
Or
paint.
reflectors or something like that.
I think it's a good idea.
There's probably options out there, we just gotta look into them. Now, are you gonna be installing the markers too, or?
Hypothetically, I could. But once again, my teacher's main focus on this project was the trailhead and the designing of that. I mean, I could definitely do this, like, I would have to ask the sculpture teacher, and she didn't seem too keen on letting me use the wood stuff because I'm not trained on it, but she did let me use it a little. So I'd have to talk to her, but if she said I could use the
Well,
wood
I mean, with
supplies-
Amazon around and everything else, there's got to be some place that trail markers can be
Yeah,
picked up.
if
It's
we
gotta
want
be.
you to make it.
Get some of the vinyl ones, they'll be there forever. We'll never have to worry, you know, I don't mean you design it, and then we'll do what we can
We'll do
to
the, like you said, we'll see.
get it in place.
talk about it money-wise.
I have a table saw in my basement, so.
Awesome. Uh-oh. And all your fingers, so that's good.
I plan on coming back next month with a more realized design of a trailhead.
All right,
Great idea.
Great.
I'll let you know what date. Okay?
Thank you so
So
much.
do we want to vote on this, or do we want to wait till we have the full trailhead design?
I think it would be best to wait, she's gonna come back, yep, so we can continue this discussion.
Yeah, and if you know, and Martha, if you can get more, like, come up with a few different designs as far as some options for the markers, so if there's something, you know, that, because we do have some funds that we can use to support this kind of project, so, you know, vinyl, reflective, whatever. I mean, if you can come up with some things to present to us, that'd be great.
I can definitely look into that, and but I plan on having more options with the trailhead.
Okay.
All right, so for the markers, if you can, try to figure out how many of each color you're going to need,
Okay,
all right?
we'll go back
Okay,
then.
yeah, and I'm happy to join you, so,
Okay.
all right, we'll
Yeah, and,
we'll get somebody from the highway department to come up with us to take a look at those trees and see what we can do.
And I think next time I go back, since I'm gonna mark that, I can, you know that app I use to map it? I can add a waypoint to every downed tree I see, and then I can send that to you.
Okay, just give me some contact information, so you just write it right on there, your phone number and email.
Feels like the ones that we used to have. Feels like the ones we used to have.
You get that too nasty, though, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Partner, thank you.
No problem. And it'll either be next month or the month after. This project runs the whole semester, so. But hopefully next month I have some designs for trailheads.
Yeah, that'd be great for us to see. And actually, Tim, if you want to point out some of the previous signs that we've had, just so if Parker's designing something, you can kind of match.
Well, it's right
or-
there, with this,
Okay,
you go to the
so
parking
that-
lot, you can
that
just take a
one.
look at it, we have the Elm Street Acres sign that's already up.
Something that complements that, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, this one the goal of the trailheads though, I think they'd be closer in, more like I'm about to walk the trail
Yeah.
and then eye level. Yeah. But I will try to keep it in the style of the green and white. And do you know what font that is by any chance?
We have to, I guess, ask.
What's that?
The font. We'd have to ask the design company that made that.
yeah. We can do that once we get to that.
Or do you need that information to continue your design?
If you could send me some like maybe realistic ideas of how big you think I'd be able to go with this, that could definitely help me. With like just the size of the sign, if you want it vertical or horizontal, those things would definitely help me.
And you're talking just one, right? Or
Yes.
So I was envisioning like a sign with two posts, almost like a music stand. So you know, you're not looking right at it, you can go up to it and you can look down on it.
No, sort of like a national park
Yeah.
easel versus like the, like.
Versus
the,
just a straight
like the
panel sign.
Appalachian Trail.
Yeah, right.
Trailhead markers. Okay.
Okay, yeah. If you could just send me some like maybe some like realistic dimensions on how big you think I could go with it,
All right.
so I know what document size to do.
I think I can do that. Yep.
I think it can be scalable too. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it doesn't have to be exact. I think as long as it contains whatever information you think makes sense to be on there, then we can do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Appreciate it.
Thank you, you too.
That's some good stuff then.
Yeah.
Okay, new business.
Okay, well, we got the results from the Energy Facility Siting Board. We
Oh,
talked about
okay.
that at our last meeting. I had sent that out to everybody.
Yep.
We are going to be getting a summary from town council, make it a little bit easier to understand. It's a pretty legal document. So once I get that, I'll send that out to everybody. Also, RU has begun their environmental monitor process. And I believe I sent that out to everybody today too.
I haven't looked at my emails.
Okay, yeah, I did send that out, because I sent the other one out last week. There will be some follow-up emails on that, and then that'll be, I'll get it out there for the public.
Okay. Great, yeah, and if anybody has any questions, just let us know.
So our next meeting right now is October 21st. It was supposed to be here, but they're doing early voting. So I'm trying to work with the library to see if we can get our room over there,
Okay.
one way or another. I'll let everybody know in plenty of time. And the next agenda will reflect it.
So location. Okay. Public input? No? They have their candy, I think we're good. All right, hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed?